Hi, I'm Lori LeBay with Alzheimer's Speaks. And a lot of times people that I talk to about caregiving are just so fearful of thinking that they're not going to remember their loved one, especially when it comes to dementia. As soon as that diagnosis is given out, as soon as they hear the word dementia, Alzheimer's, Lewy body, frontal temporal lobe, vascular dementia, it doesn't really make any difference. We kind of dive down this dark, deep hole, and people start saying goodbye. They start thinking about death, and they get so wrapped in the fear of what they've lost and what might come in the future that they forget about the present moment. And dementia actually offers us a great opportunity to capture the spirit of life of the relationships that we have had, that we are having today, and that we'll have tomorrow. So I'm just going to give you some tips that really help me through this process, and they're really quite simple. I'm going to tell you some of the mistakes that I made so maybe you won't make them. You see, my dad died of brain cancer in 2001, and he was diagnosed with brain cancer about 4.5 years before. They gave him 1 year to 1.5 years. Right there, the doctors didn't know. But we wanted to control things, so we pushed him for a time frame. So don't be so adamant to have a time frame, because nobody on this earth knows that time frame. We were blessed to have a lot more time, and I very much appreciate that. I'm still not sure that I used it wisely, or as wisely as I would now, looking through the rear view mirror. But some of the things that I found when my dad had his brain cancer and Mom with her dementia was they had inherited a bunch of pictures. A lot of family photos, like 3 big grocery boxes full of photos. And instead of taking an opportunity in the early stages when they were still able to go through and recognize people, I missed that. And so after my dad died and my mom was in the nursing home and there was really no other family, I went through those 3 boxes. Oh my gosh, I bet I went through them 6 times trying to weed through them, trying to recognize people, and I had such guilt throwing out those pictures. But why I mentioned this is because going through those pictures alone, I realized I missed some really precious moments with my own parents, where they could have relived some of their history and shared it with me. I lost that. I lost the opportunity to see them light up as they remembered things, which would have then given me another memory to remember them by. There were many things that I could have done differently to capture, the essence of them. And some things that I didn't do with my dad just because I didn't know at the time, but that I have done with my mom, are really very simple. And they've all given me such great joy, even in her really late stages like she is right now. It just gives me tremendous joy to go back and look at pictures I've taken. Now, we might have a party for Mom, and we're all there for 2 hours, but she's awake for maybe 15-20 minutes. I don't sit and sulk about the time she's sleeping. I enjoy everybody else's presence, I have a good time, and I anxiously await the moment she's with us so that I can take some pictures, so that I can capture her smile, so I can see the glint in her eye, so I can just get that 2-second little flash of her eyes meeting mine. Or maybe just touching her hand. When the music comes on, my mom used to love music and she used to like to sing. And we went through all kinds of phases with that, where she was part of the choir at the nursing home when she first got there, to just doing sing-alongs, and then pretty soon it was just, kind of humming some bars as she could. Now she really can't say the words, but the music still lives in her. And so I try to capture those on my phone. Most of us have a cell phone these days, and that's a camera. Utilize it. Capture those moments. Try to create the joy. One of the big lessons that I learned through this 30-year journey with my mom, which is such a simple lesson. I don't know why we don't teach this one in school, but what I realized is that we remember 3 things in life. We remember what scares us, what saddens us, and what brings us joy. And we will only find what we look for. And so when we get all wrapped up and we're all fearful of the future and we're sad about the loss of the past, we give up the current moments of joy right before us. Other things that I think can be really powerful are just sitting down and writing some notes. Now, you don't have to be a good writer. It might just be words that trigger a thought for you. It might turn into a poem, might turn into a short story, might turn into a story you just decide to share with other people. Doesn't make any difference. Don't waste time worrying about that you might miss them. Capture the moment so you don't worry about that stuff. It's so simple to do, and it will give you great joy. I know it has me. And the thing that's really cool about it is I can share those moments with others. No, I'm not going down the rabbit hole. Not that I don't have my days. But it's so simple to take some notes, to use a camera, to take some video, to record something, to bring pictures in to reminisce. One of the tools that I have is called Your Memory Chip, and it kind of outlines, this is the 3rd question on it, but there's also Your Memory Journal. And your memory journal just prompts you basically and gives you a space on a real basic piece of paper that says, bring in a picture, and then just jot down what it is you appreciated about that person, and then leave it where they are so that others can relive your moment of joy with them. Just try it. You've got nothing to lose, and you've got an awful lot to gain.